Zeus begins the greatest war in mythology. Years passed in secret. Hidden among the rugged mountains of Crete, Zeus grew into a powerful young god. Every sunrise sharpened his mind. Every storm seemed to answer his emotions. The nymphs who had raised him no longer saw a child. They saw a leader. He was tall, fearless, and possessed a calm confidence unlike any titan before him. Yet despite his growing strength, Zeus understood something important. Raw power alone would never defeat Cronus. His father had ruled the universe for centuries. The Titans commanded unimaginable strength, and many remained loyal to their king. If Zeus attacked recklessly, the prophecy would end before it truly began. He needed a plan, one that relied not only on force, but on patience. Far beneath Cronus's throne, his brothers and sisters remained imprisoned inside their father's body. Though immortal, they had never seen the stars, never felt the wind, never walked the earth. Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Poseidon, and Hades existed in an endless darkness, waiting for a miracle they could not imagine. Zeus vowed that miracle would come, but first, he needed help. Gaia guided Zeus to one of the oldest beings in existence, the Titaness Metis. Unlike most Titans, Metis was known not for her strength, but for her extraordinary wisdom. She listened carefully as Zeus described the prophecy. When he finished, she smiled. Your father defeated Uranus with a weapon. You will defeat him with his own fear. Metis prepared a magical potion unlike anything ever created. It looked harmless, clear as spring water, yet its power was immense. Anyone who drank it would be forced to release whatever they had swallowed. The plan was simple. Get close enough to Cronus, make him drink, free the gods, begin the revolution. Disguised as an ordinary servant, Zeus entered the court of Cronus. No one recognized him. After all, everyone believed the youngest child of Rhea had died long ago. Cronus himself never questioned the quiet young cupbearer. Day after day, Zeus served wine to the ruler of the Titans. He watched, he listened, he learned. He saw how fear controlled every decision Cronus made. The once great king trusted no one completely. Even loyal Titans lived cautiously around him. Power had made Cronus suspicious of everyone, especially himself. Finally, the moment arrived. During a grand feast attended by Titans from every corner of the world, Zeus poured wine into Cronus's golden cup. Hidden within it, Metis's potion. Cronus lifted the goblet. The hall fell silent. He drank every drop. At first, nothing happened. Then his face changed. His body shook violently. The mighty ruler staggered from his throne. The ground trembled. The Titans stared in confusion. Cronus let out a roar so loud it echoed across heaven and earth. Then, one by one, the impossible happened. First emerged Hestia, then Demeter, then Hera. Next came Hades, after him Poseidon. Finally, the stone Cronus had swallowed years earlier crashed onto the palace floor. For the first time since their births, the 6 children of Rhea stood together. Free, though they had been imprisoned for ages, their divine nature allowed them to emerge fully grown. Cronus looked upon them with horror. The prophecy had come true. Zeus stepped forward, no longer disguised, no longer hiding. I am your son, and your reign ends today. The throne room exploded into chaos. Titans rushed to defend their king. The newly freed gods gathered beside Zeus. The first battle lasted only moments. Neither side gained victory. Instead, the universe divided itself. One side followed the Titans. The other followed the Olympians. The greatest war in mythology had begun. History would remember it as the Titanomachy, 10 years of relentless conflict. Unlike human wars, this struggle reshaped creation itself. Mountains shattered beneath the impact of divine weapons. Entire forests vanished beneath walls of fire. Rivers changed course. The oceans rose in fury. Every battle left permanent scars upon the earth. Cronus commanded the strongest Titans ever born. Hyperion illuminated battlefields with blinding light. Coeus unleashed devastating celestial power. Crius led massive Titan armies across the land. Atlas fought with unmatched endurance, refusing to retreat even once. Their strength seemed unstoppable. The Olympians fought bravely. Poseidon wielded a mighty trident capable of splitting the earth. Hades wore a mysterious helmet that rendered him completely invisible. Hera inspired the younger gods with unwavering courage. Demeter nourished their armies, ensuring they never lacked food. Hestia preserved unity among the siblings, and Zeus mastered lightning itself. Bolts of brilliant white fire crashed from the heavens, shaking mountains and igniting entire forests. Yet even his incredible power failed to break the Titans. Year after year, the war continued. Neither side could claim victory. The universe itself seemed trapped in endless conflict. One evening, Gaia appeared before Zeus once again. "You cannot win alone," she warned. "There are others imprisoned because of Cronus." Suddenly, Zeus understood. Deep beneath the earth, the Cyclopes remained chained. So did the Hecatonchires, the forgotten children of Uranus. The very beings Cronus had refused to free after overthrowing his own father. They had waited for centuries. Zeus descended into Tartarus, the deepest prison in existence, a place where even light struggled to survive. Heavy chains covered the Cyclopes. Nearby stood the Hecatonchires, their 100 arms restrained by enormous iron bonds. Despite centuries of imprisonment, their spirits remained unbroken. Zeus shattered their chains. For the first time in ages, the forgotten giants walked freely. They looked upon Zeus with gratitude. Unlike Uranus, unlike Cronus, he had chosen compassion instead of fear. They pledged their loyalty immediately, and with them, the balance of the war began to change. The Cyclopes returned to their ancient forges. Their enormous hammers echoed through volcanic mountains. From fire and divine metal, they created 3 legendary weapons. For Zeus, the thunderbolt, not ordinary lightning, but living celestial energy capable of splitting mountains. For Poseidon, the trident. One strike could summon earthquakes and command every ocean. For Hades, the helm of darkness, a helmet granting complete invisibility even from the eyes of gods. These weapons would become symbols of divine authority for thousands of years, but the Hecatonchires offered something even more terrifying. During battle, their 100 arms hurled hundreds of enormous boulders at once. The skies became filled with flying mountains. Titan armies collapsed beneath the relentless storm. For the first time in 10 long years, Cronus realized something terrifying. He was losing. Standing atop Mount Othrys, the fortress of the Titans, Cronus watched Zeus command storms unlike anything creation had ever witnessed. Thunder rolled endlessly, lightning illuminated the heavens. The earth trembled beneath the footsteps of giants. The prophecy had not merely returned, it had become unstoppable. The final battle for the universe was about to begin. The age of the Titans was drawing to its end. The fall of the Titans and the rise of Mount Olympus. The war had raged for 10 relentless years. Neither side had surrendered. Neither side had forgotten what was at stake. If the Titans prevailed, Cronus would rule forever. If Zeus succeeded, the universe itself would enter a new age. Now, the final battle had arrived. Dawn broke beneath skies unlike any the world had ever seen. Black storm clouds churned across the heavens. Lightning flashed continuously, illuminating mountain peaks that had become battlefields. The sea crashed violently against the cliffs, as if Poseidon himself had already begun to wage war. Far below, rivers overflowed, volcanoes erupted. The earth trembled beneath the weight of armies unlike anything history or mythology would ever witness again. On one side stood the Titans, ancient, massive, forged in the earliest days of creation. Cronus stood at their center, gripping a gigantic adamantine blade that had once overthrown Uranus himself. Around him gathered Hyperion, Coeus, Crius, Iapetus, Atlas, and countless Titan warriors. Across the valley, the Olympians assembled. Zeus stood at the front, holding the newly forged thunderbolt. Beside him stood Poseidon with his gleaming trident. Hades wore the helm of darkness. Behind them waited the Cyclopes and the Hecatonchires. The future of creation balanced on a single moment. Without warning, Cronus raised his weapon. The Titans charged. The ground shattered beneath their footsteps. Entire hills collapsed. Forests splintered into clouds of dust. Zeus answered with lightning. The heavens exploded. Bolts of brilliant white energy struck the battlefield, splitting enormous boulders in half. Each impact echoed across the world like the birth of thunder itself. Still, the Titans kept advancing. Hyperion filled the sky with blinding light. Coeus unleashed waves of celestial energy. Creus drove enormous spears into the mountainside, sending avalanches crashing toward the Olympians. For hours, neither army gained ground. Then Hades vanished. Using the Helm of Darkness, he became completely invisible. Titan commanders suddenly disappeared one after another. Confusion spread through their ranks. No one knew where death would strike next. Meanwhile, Poseidon slammed his trident into the earth. The mountains cracked apart. Great rivers burst from beneath the ground. Massive waves swept across the battlefield, separating Titan divisions and washing away entire formations. The battlefield itself had become a weapon, but the true turning point came from the Hecatoncheires. With 100 powerful arms each, the giants lifted mountains as though they were pebbles. Hundreds of enormous boulders darkened the sky. Then they fell. The Titan army disappeared beneath an endless storm of stone. Entire cliffs collapsed. Fortresses crumbled. Even Atlas, renowned for his unmatched strength, struggled to stand beneath the relentless assault. For the first time, fear spread among the Titans. High above the battlefield, Zeus and Cronus finally faced one another, father and son. The prophecy had brought them here. Cronus attacked first. His enormous blade sliced through the air with terrifying force. The mountain beneath Zeus split apart. But Zeus leaped into the storm. Lightning surrounded his body. Again, Cronus struck. Again, Zeus avoided the blow. Then Zeus raised the thunderbolt. The heavens answered. Every storm cloud gathered above him. The sky became brighter than daylight. A single bolt of unimaginable power descended from the heavens. It struck Cronus directly. The explosion shook every corner of creation. The Titan king fell. His weapon shattered. His strength abandoned him. The prophecy had been fulfilled. As Cronus collapsed, the remaining Titans began to retreat. Some fled into distant mountains, others attempted to cross the oceans, but there was nowhere left to hide. The Olympians advanced relentlessly. By sunset, the war was over. After 10 years of destruction, the age of the Titans had ended forever. Victory, however, did not erase danger. Zeus understood that the Titans could never again threaten the universe. They had ruled once. Given enough time, they might attempt it again. A permanent prison was needed. Far beneath the earth lay Tartarus, deeper than the underworld itself. A place of eternal darkness surrounded by walls of bronze and rivers of fire. One by one, the defeated Titans were led into its depths. Cronus entered first. Hyperion followed, then Coeus, Creus, Iapetus, and countless others. The enormous bronze gates closed behind them with a sound that echoed across eternity. To ensure no escape, Zeus appointed the Hecatoncheires as eternal guardians. Their 100 watchful arms would never tire. The prison of the Titans was sealed forever. Not every Titan received the same fate. One warrior had fought with extraordinary determination, Atlas. Even after Cronus fell, Atlas refused to surrender. He continued fighting until every ally had disappeared. Zeus admired his courage, but courage alone could not erase rebellion. Atlas received a punishment unlike any other. Rather than imprisonment, he would carry the heavens upon his shoulders forever. Standing at the edge of the Western world, Atlas became the pillar between earth and sky. Every sunrise, every sunset, every passing century, the weight of the heavens remained upon him. His punishment became one of the most famous images in all mythology. Peace slowly returned, storm clouds cleared, the seas calmed, mountains settled. The scars of war remained across the earth, but creation could finally begin healing. Now another question remained. Who would rule the universe? The three brothers gathered together, Zeus, Poseidon, Hades. Each possessed immense power. Each had helped win the war. Rather than fighting one another, they agreed to divide creation fairly. Lots were cast. The outcome would shape mythology forever. Zeus received the heavens. From this day onward, he would become king of the gods, ruler of storms, justice, and divine law. Poseidon received the oceans. Every sea, river, and earthquake would answer to his mighty trident. Hades received the underworld. Though many feared his kingdom, it was not a place of evil. It became the realm where every mortal soul completed its final journey. The earth itself remained shared among them all. High above the world stood a magnificent mountain, unlike any other. Its peak disappeared beyond the clouds. Mortals could see it from afar, yet none could reach its summit. This was Mount Olympus. Here, Zeus established the new home of the gods. Palaces of shining marble rose among the clouds. Golden halls reflected the light of the sun. Crystal fountains flowed with immortal waters. Music echoed through endless gardens where flowers never faded. For the first time, the Olympian gods ruled from a kingdom built not upon fear, but upon order, or so it seemed. Because although the Titans had fallen, peace would prove fragile. Far below the earth, another threat still slept. Older than the Titans, more terrifying than any god. A creature born from Gaia herself, one whose power would nearly destroy Olympus. Its name was Typhon, and even Zeus would one day fear its arrival.